What's up, everybody? Welcome everybody back to the map. This is your host, Phuzzy. Phuzzy is on the scene. I'm alone today. Peanut's got to work. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend, so he's getting a little overtime.
What if I were the one to tell you that the fight's already been won? Well, I think your day's about to get better.
We'll be changing things up in terms of how I've done things in the past. We'll be keeping the same thing in terms of football. You know, we talk a lot of football on this show. Sports in general, but mainly football. And that'll be coming soon. It's March. I'll spend a little bit of time on this particular video talking about free agency. And I want you guys' opinions, so please leave them down below when we get to that part. But anyway, I really just wanted to take a dive and, you know, what we'll be doing now on the show. It'll be a little funnier, we'll be doing little funny clips each and every week. Bring some happiness to the week, some laughs. It's been fun so far. I've really enjoyed it. I like the direction we're going. It's a new direction, but it's a good direction. Change was needed, and Peanut brings that to the show. So April is a really big time for us. Every year we do what we call league interviews, where I invite some of my best friends onto the show. We talk about football, a lot of college football. I've got a lot of Alabama fans, a lot of Auburn fans, even some out of the SEC that come on the show. We talk about their teams. Have a really good time. That'll be coming up in April. We've already got one show booked for the 6th. We'll be doing a shooting every Saturday in April. First show is already set, again on the 6th. We're still waiting on some of these other guys to, they've committed, but we're waiting on dates to be set, times to be set. I look forward to doing that. Really excited about this year's show. Usually I'll have 4 shows in April. This year I'm already set to have 6, so that's definitely I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. We'll talk a little NFL too, even though most of these guys, we live in college football country, so most of it's college. One of the shows, maybe even 2, we'll be talking a little bit baseball as well. Predominantly a football show again, but we are sports, so we'll talk about anything these guys want to talk about. We're also looking for ideas, anything that you want to see done, challenges. My daughter is also involved. Kylie loves to video with us. So even for the kids, you got a challenge you want us to do. We watch a lot of YouTube videos of these challenges. Let us know what they are. We're all in. Unless it's illegal, you'll never hear a no from us. So I'm curious to see what you guys say about that, and any ideas that you have. Curious to know those. Free agency. Le'Veon Bell goes to the Jets. The Jets also got C.J. Mosley. I don't know how I feel about that. But what I even find more exciting, or should I say comical, is on the other side of New York. I should say the other side, it's the same dang place. The other New York team completely failed. They let go of Landon Collins, Roll Tide, and let him go to Bama, aka the Washington Redskins. And then they trade OBJ to the Cleveland Browns. That was a little crazy to me. But what do you think about Le'Veon Bell with the Jets? Over under 1,000 yards rushing for the season. Put that down below. Does he get 1,000 yards with that offensive line in New York? I want to know your opinions on this. Antonio Brown was also shipped to the Raiders. Thoughts on that? Leave that down below. I think he's there 15 minutes before he starts whining, but we'll see. That's my opinion. Also, what do you think his stats are going to be this year? I don't predict a good season for Antonio Brown either. I think both of these guys left a good situation in Pittsburgh for trash situations where they went. The Raiders and the Jets are not good teams. So I want to know what your opinions are on those two moves. I feel bad for C.J. Mosley. Huge C.J. Mosley fan. Roll Tide. Going to the Jets. I think he'll have a little bit better season, but he still's playing. Now he goes to play in the same division with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. I'm glad he got his money. I'm glad he got what he wanted. But at the same time, at what cost? At what cost, CJ? I'll always pull for you, because not only are you Bama, you're also Theodore Bobcat. And that's where I am right now. Theodore. My son graduated from Theodore. My second son goes there now as a freshman. So, big Bobcat fan. So to see you go there, glad you got your money. I'm happy for you, but I don't know if you're going to win there. But, and of course, the Eagles have done a little maneuvering themselves. We lost Nick Foles. He will be missed. He's been so good to us. He's been a special guy, not just player but a person, and he's gonna be missed. We love Nick Foles, always will. Eagle fans everywhere, we love Nick. We will pull for him in Jacksonville. Jacksonville just got a sister set of fans, because we will be pulling for Jacksonville with Nick Foles at quarterback. We don't have to worry about playing him unless we see him in the Super Bowl for a while. So, go Jags. But with that same thing said, the Eagles go out and sign Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson in a trade. We traded for Deshaun Jackson, got him for peanuts, and I'll take it. He is going to open things up hardcore down the field, which is what we struggled with last year. The year before, we were at the top of the league in third downs and downfield passes completed, and last year we were at the bottom. So we dropped drastically because Mike Wallace got hurt beginning of the year, and we never got that back. And it was just hard for us to move the ball downfield. And third down, we were atrocious. So hopefully Deshaun Jackson comes in, and we're not asking him to be the man he was. We just need him to be that downfield threat that we know that he can be. And I look forward to seeing what he can do in Philly. And he's dynamic. He can take the ball back from anywhere. If Winston gave him the ball, and Winston can stay healthy, and I think we're going to be fine. Let's not forget we also have Alshon Jeffrey. I guess my only concern for Philly this offseason has been running back and linebacker. Philadelphia Eagles traditionally do not draft running backs or linebackers in the first round, or early at all for that matter. I'm hoping this year they change that, unless there's been rumors that Philly is involved in a trade with the 49ers for a running back. That could either mean McKinnon, that could mean Bretta. Either one of those two I'd be okay with, as long as we draft a running back in the first or second round. We have 2 seconds this year in Philly, so we can at least use one of those 2 seconds on a running back. I'd be okay with that. If I was in charge, we'd be taking Josh Jacobs in the first round. But again, traditionally, historically, Philadelphia does not take a running back in the first round. I can't see us doing that again this year. So, wish. It's on the wish list. Never happens. So I'm not banking on it. Hell, if you're watching this, take Josh Jacobs at 25. Just saying. So far, I think the best teams in the offseason that have done the most work and most underrated work, Jacksonville getting Nick Foles was huge. I don't think a lot of people understand if Fournette can stay healthy, he doesn't have to carry the offense now. Nick Foles can throw the ball. So I think that's going to benefit them. I see Jacksonville winning a lot more games than they have in the past. Their defense, they're getting most of everybody back. They did lose Malik Jackson, which is now also in Philly, defensive tackle. That was another good signing by Philly. But Jacksonville's getting most everybody back on defense, so I think Jacksonville is somebody to be paying attention to this year. I know the Raiders got Antonio Brown, Jets got Bell and Mosley. I still think the team to beat in the AFC is obviously New England. Kansas City will be there as long as Mahomes is healthy. I don't know what they're going to do at running back. I kind of think they'll They'll go early on running back this year as well. But with Hunt out 8 games, 2 with Cleveland. Let's talk about Cleveland for a second. Whoa. People are putting these guys in the Super Bowl. That's not happening. Not right now. You've got... I remember back, what year was it? Somebody will write it down below, I'm sure. Somebody will catch me on this one. But remember the Dream Team in Philadelphia? If Jeremy's watching, he'll be the first one to write that one down. Vince Young called us the Dream Team because the Eagles went out and had a huge free agency signing. We had everybody. We signed everybody we could sign at the top of that list. We had a really good, solid team that year, and everybody was calling us the Dream Team. Thanks, Vince Young, for that one. And it killed us. It's called chemistry, people, and I don't care who you sign. You can sign all the biggest free agents in the world. If you don't play together well, it means absolutely nothing. Okay, you've got to have the chemistry on the field, and they're gonna have to do that. Now, Cleveland's got a lot of egos now, and they got a lot of people they got to feed the ball to. A lot of people are gonna want to eat, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that. You're gonna have a lot of crybabies. If you're not careful, he's gonna have to distribute. Baker Mayfield's gonna have to distribute that ball around equally to everybody, and I just don't know if he's gonna be able to do that. Between Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb is getting left out here. Shoot, maybe my Eagles can move on him. I'd love him to Philly. But Mayfield, getting the ball out with Hunt, Chubb, Landry, Odell Beckham. I know I'm leaving somebody else out, but the team is just loaded offensively. Defensively, they've got some issues, but I think the defense will be okay. Freddie Kitchens is a new coach in Cleveland. Roll Tide. I look forward to seeing what he can do. But it's gonna be something now because he's got a lot of stars on that team, and I can't wait to see what they do, how Cleveland rolls this year. I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl. I do think they can win the division because I think the Steelers took a step back, but I do think they'll be involved in the end. I do still think they can get a wild card. They've still got enough talent on that team, and the coaching. I'm not a fan of the coaching staff in Pittsburgh, but they're still a decent team. I respect them. It's still a decent coaching staff. So I look forward to seeing what they can do. The Bengals suck, so we'll just say that and leave that there. The Ravens are going to be completely different next year. I don't know what to expect from them. They're my question mark in that division now, so I don't really know. I don't know what to expect from Baltimore. So we'll see what happens. They did get Mark Ingram from the Saints, which I thought was stupid on the Saints' behalf because they picked up Murray. That was the running back over in Minnesota. They picked him up, and he played for the Raiders too. They gave Murray some money that I feel like they should have given to Mark Ingram, but because he's not Mark Ingram. I think Mark Ingram was undervalued in New Orleans, and I think a lot of people watching this video will agree with me. He was severely undervalued by that coaching staff in New Orleans. I think they're about to find that out. So we'll see what happens with the Saints and that move. We'll find out what happens with Baltimore. I think he goes there, and I think he flourishes. But I don't know. Like I said, Baltimore is my question mark in that division. I'm not going to go through every single division or every single team that had free agency moves this year, but I did want to mention the few that I mentioned. Leave your comments down below, your thoughts. Again, leave me the over-under on Le'Veon Bell. That was the biggest hire of the offseason to this point. I think it will be throughout the entire offseason. So write your opinions down below. Over-under 1,000 yards, Le'Veon Bell, New York Jets. That still sounds weird to say. So thank y'all for tuning in today. Hope I didn't bore you too much. Phuzzy's on here by himself. Hadn't done this in a while. It's actually been probably 7-8 months since I did a show alone. Hopefully we don't have to do this too many more times. Come back, Peanut! We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good one. This is the Matt. I'm the Fuzz.
Leave the comments down below if you like this video.